Coyotes hockey on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Papa John's. Get 50% off at Papa John's the day after a Coyotes win. Promo code Coyotes at papajohns.com. By Sanderson Ford. The best play is at Sanderson Ford. And by Gigablast Internet from Cox. Get ready for the gig life. We are back at the BB&T Center in Sunrise, Florida. Game 2 of the trip. And let's take a look at the starting goaltenders in this one. Presented by Behind the Mask Hockey Shops. Mike Smith right back between the pipes tonight against Roberto Luongo. This is a matchup that we saw Saturday night in Glendale. And Roberto Luongo 2-2-2, 257 goals against average. And we'll see how it all unfolds here tonight. The referees tonight are Wes McCauley and Mark Lemelin. The linesman Pierre Rasico and Jean Morin. Game 2 of the trip here. Coyotes winning 2-1 in overtime last Saturday night. Head coach Dave Tippett behind the bench for the Coyotes. He said 5-on-5 scoring is a concern, but 5-on-5 defense is as much of a concern. Team's pretty good, though, when they follow up a loss under their bench boss.
Now that record is off the charts under Dave Tippett, and Florida has not played since last Saturday in Arizona, so you know they're going to be fresh and ready to go. Lots of practice time. I'm sure they were all bellied up on the couch watching that game against Tampa. The Coyotes lost, so you know they're going to be hungry, and Gerard Gallant is going to have his club fired up for this one. They were very undisciplined in that game in Arizona.
Yeah, 8 power play goals, or 8 power play opportunities, I should say. 2 power play goals as the Coyotes were able to convert.
Mike Smith, gotta get her going. Make a couple big saves early to get himself into this one.
Well, we'll see what happens. The Coyotes win tonight. They're back to the 500 mark with a couple of games left on this trip. Coming off the 2-1 overtime win against the Panthers on Saturday night at Gila River Arena. And the puck will be cleared back to center ice. Starting the game for the Coyotes up front, Antoine Vermette's line was Shane Doan and Mikkel Bakker. Changes on the blue line as well. A couple of changes up front, including that 4th unit. We'll get those to you as they scroll across the top of your screen. And the puck will be moved right back in by Antoine Vermette.
And that's the thing. I mean, everyone is so down around here. The sun did come up today, and a big Coyote win here tonight. They're back to 500 hockey.
Perry will play it into the corner, and he sends it in behind the net. Yandel out there with Michael Stone. That defensive pair remains intact. And it'll be played back to the front. Jussi Jokinen, and a shot taken that time. That goes over the top, taken by Jonathan Huberdeau. Now the Coyotes will look to move it along, but they can't get it out. Good keep by Huberdeau. And now flipped along and into the corner where Keith Yandel will look to send behind the net. Michael Stone just trying to move it along, but the Panthers will bring it back out high, and a shot taken that time is blocked away by Yandel. Puck into the corner. Good job by Keith Yandel, and now Klinkhammer will get it up the boards and out.
Oh, wow. Keith Yandel heads up play is right, but he almost got flattened. Head down, looking at the puck that was between his feet, but good job clearing it out of harm's way.
Perry now for Florida. He had the lone goal Saturday night for the Panthers in that game out in Glendale. Oliver Ekman-Larsson scoring the game winner in overtime in that contest. Flip back to the line. Dylan Olsen left point. He shoots. That was blocked away out high.
Yeah, nice block there by Connor Murphy. This is where the Coyotes have to do a better job here tonight. In the defensive zone, they're forwards. Going to keep an eye on them all night long, making sure they're defending better in that quiet area, not allowing that point-blank shot that Mike Smith has seen in way too many games this year.
Yandel at the end of a shift will move it along for Michael Stone. He crosses center. He'll get one in. Out of the corner, trying to move it along. Dylan Olsen. Good board battle there for the Coyotes. Into the corner it goes, and now it'll be freed. And back to center ice goes Kopetsky. They'll send one into the corner. Out of the front. Nobody there for Florida. Back out high. It's Willie Mitchell. He shoots, and that was blocked away. Coyotes already with a couple of early blocks in this hockey game. We played a couple of minutes. 2.5 gone here at the BB&T Center in Sunrise, Florida. Behind the net, Willie Mitchell, who came over from the Los Angeles Kings, and he'll skate it out.
He was good the last time these two teams faced off. He led the Panthers in ice time, and he also had 9 block shots in that game.
Well, you talked about his ice time, a little over 26 minutes as we get a whistle here and an offside. Keys to the game, they're brought to you by Sanderson Ford, and just one here tonight.
Yeah, simple. You got to have everybody on board. That's what makes this team to be fun to be a part of, is that everyone is held accountable. Everyone plays a big role in a win and a loss. Too many passengers lately. They need everybody. The leaders got to go out there and lead by example, and everybody will follow along.
In the warm-ups tonight, Shane Doan was kind of bumping and checking his own players, kind of running into him a little bit, trying to get him going. He's done that in the past. He's done it a lot, and he was doing it here at the BB&T Center as that one is sent out by Ekman Larsson and over the glass and out of play.
Shane Doan got his first goal the other night in Tampa, and that's a good sign. He's typically a slow starter, but the big thing for Shane is that he had 20 shots in his last 5 games. I mean, he's doing a great job. He's getting opportunities. They're just not finding the back of the net. After you get that first goal as a hockey player, little confidence, they'll start to go in.
Hansel, Klinkhammer, Erat out there now as this one is sent in, and Luongo the save. Into the corner now, trying to play it in behind. That was Aaron Ekblad. Good board battle here. Hansel now tries to chip it along, and it's going to be moved out. Keith Yandel now will bring it through center. Bergenheim overskated it. Stone that time got a little bit of a tug, and it's cleared back to center. Sent right back in by Aaron Ekblad. Now we get a whistle here. Looks like a penalty coming up. Maybe a high sticking call. Let's see where they bring it. Is it just going to be a face-off coming out? No, actually, they're going to get Florida for high sticking. So they took 8 penalties in that game last weekend, and Gerard Gallant can't be happy with the early development here.
Well, I think it's going to be Martin Erat going to the back box.
Yeah, it is Erat. I apologize. They were pointing towards the Florida bench.
Not sure what happened. A big kill coming up here for the Coyotes. Their penalty kill has been outstanding, particularly on the road. They're 81% on the kill.
Well, my apologies. The official actually went over to the Florida bench, and so the Panthers go to the power play. Campbell will play it into the corner. Now Zbynek McCulloch out there killing the penalty. And Campbell couldn't keep the right point, so it's cleared away. The penalty killers here for the Coyotes, it'll be Korpikoski, along with Oliver Ekman Larsson, Antoine Vermette, and Zbynek McCulloch. Played right back in this time by Ekblad. And Mike Smith will clear it all the way down the length of the ice.
That's a young defenseman who makes a mistake. He just dumps that puck in so Mike Smith can get out. You got to dump it in with a purpose. If you're going to shoot it hard, you got to shoot it hard. Make sure it eludes the goaltender.
Perry will send it in. And behind the net, Fleischmann. Coyotes trying to wrap it around. Played at the line, Ekblad over to Campbell. And now Campbell will have to play it in behind the net. And Ekman Larsson will clear down the length of the ice. 10 out of 11 kills on the road so far for the Coyotes in this young season. And the penalty kill has been very, very good as it'll be moved out. This time Kulikov will bring it up on left wing intended for Fleischmann, and turn the other way as Korpikoski will pick it up. He drops it to Hansel. Short-handed bid and a stop by Luongo and a rebound. He got that too. 2 good looks there for Martin Hansel.
Yeah, right idea there by Hansel. Don't get too cute. Shoot that puck. Big rebound. Luongo is a guy, you shoot it at the pads. He lets out big ones.
Olsen, big save that time. Smith rebound, and that hit a skate. Summers and Murphy out there for their first shift of the hockey game, killing off this penalty. Goes back out high. Kulikov leaves it there for Olsen. Shot on, and that hit traffic in front, and the Coyotes will clear down the length.
Good kill, very aggressive on the Panthers, who are struggling to score goals. They got 2 power play goals this year, but only 10 goals in total on the season.
Will play it in behind the net. Got stripped of the puck, but it's taken away. And Joe Vitale now will try to get it up the boards and out. Meanwhile, Martin Erat's out of the penalty box, so the Coyotes are back to full strength. Ekman Larsson heard footsteps. Now into the corner. And Martin Erat will bring it along back to center for Sam Gagner. Gagner flips it deep. Gagner again on the left side here tonight. as he was the other night on the west side of the state in Tampa. Gagne playing with Hodgman and Korpikoski, and Justin Hodgman back in the lineup.
Gagne is still looking for his first goal. So he's a little 2-game point streak going. Back, we're talking about defensive responsibilities, that back pressure. You're going to see Klinkhammer on Campbell, top of your screen. Look at Keith Yandle right here, directing traffic as well, telling Klinkhammer where to go. That is just a good job. Everybody on the same page. Good back pressure, allowing Keith Yandle and Stone to jump up, be a little bit more aggressive just inside that blue line. No odd man rushes. That's the key.
Good finish, too, by Klinkhammer as he was able to get the puck out of the zone. Yandle now will leave it there for Hodgman, and Hodgman will send one deep. Justin Hodgman tied the game against Florida late in the third period of play on Saturday night, and then Oliver Ekman-Larsson won it in overtime. Into the corner now. Kopetsky tried to get it to the front. Into the corner, Sean Thornton down low. Fourth unit out right now for head coach Gerard Gallant.
Nice job there by Keith Yandle, not getting puck focused. Was focused on Thornton in the slot.
Goes in behind the net. Kopetsky's there. Here's watched by Yandle. It goes behind the net for the former Bruin, Sean Thornton. It'll be taken away by Hodgman. Coyotes trying to work it up the left wing side. Gagne is there. So is Hodgman. Finally, Yandle will take it away, and he flips it to safety for Michael Stone. And Stone will cross center and dump deep as Gagne goes for a chase, this time against Aaron Ekblad. And out come the Florida Panthers to center. In over the line. And a shot taken that time is stirred away. Huberdeau with a good look there on Mike Smith. Now Huberdeau down low. Sabinik McCulloch all over him. Good board battle there. Now it's taken away. Here's a chance down low. It comes in front. Another penalty coming up. This one's going to go against the Coyotes as Bodker touches. And it's going to be a hooking call. So a little bit of turnabout based on what we saw last Saturday night. Coyotes with another penalty, this time to Antoine Vermette.
Well, that's because you get caught on the wrong
Number
side
50,
of the
Phoenix.
puck.
Minor penalty. Hooking.
Antoine Vermette gets caught chasing. Little hook there. Easy call for the referee to make. It's all about positioning. And Bjugstad had a little bit of a step on him and a lot of pressure so far from Florida in the offensive zone.
So the penalty killing unit back out there. Sabinik McCulloch along with Ekman-Larsson, and also out there Erat and Hansel. Board battle just inside that left point. The Coyotes will chip it to center, and now back with it is Brian Campbell inside of his own zone. Huberdeau now. Got it in over the line, taken away, and Ekman-Larsson will send all the way down the length, and that'll allow the Coyotes penalty killing unit to change.
You want to have short, hard shifts, keep the pressure on Florida. Just can't seem to get anything going. Turnovers and zone entries. They're fighting it.
Played along, intercepted for the second time on this shift by Brandon McMillan, but back comes Peary, and he hit the post. Now back out high, a shot Ekblad just redirected in front and wide, and it goes right to goaltender Mike Smith.
Wow, what a deflection in front. Getting nothing accomplished, and then all of a sudden a post and a real good deflection and tip in front by, I believe that was Jokinen. Good individual effort there, and right back to the point. Nice shot by Peary. You hear that sound, that's music to a goalie's ears, I can tell you that.
Well, the faceoff will be to the left of goaltender Mike Smith with 1:10 remaining in the minor to Antoine Vermette. Peary gets chased out of the circle. So Jussi Jokinen will take the draw. Panthers control, back out high, a shot is on, and a stop there. Goodbranson with a great look, and Smith with the save.
Yeah, Mike Smith is weathering a storm here that Florida is putting on. You win the faceoff. Nice kick play by Jokinen back to the point, and then the ripper. Goodbranson, no hesitation. Shoot that puck, and Florida is crashing the net.
McCulloch into the corner. Jokinen tries to free it for Peary. Ekman-Larsson and McCulloch staying out with Hansel and Erat, killing off this penalty that has another 53 to go. Into the corner now. Fleischman behind the net. Now Fleischman to the front on it. Went right through the crease. Back to the line, Goodbranson. That deflected wide. Ekman Larsson going after it. Now it's played away as Fleischman trying to set it up. Back out high, but this one will go all the way back to the Florida blue line. Coyotes are trying to get a quick change. Peary will play it in behind the net. Chris Summers is out there. He'll move it along against Sean Bergenheim, but they can't get it out. Comes out high. Campbell, he shoots. Glove save, Smith. Huge save there for Mike Smith.
How good is Mike Smith in this first period? First 10 minutes. In a firing drill, you watch Mike Smith, left to right, focus, the big glove save. Squared up to the puck. Nice shot there by Campbell, too, to get that puck and elevate it over top of the sliding Connor Murphy.
Off the faceoff, Panthers will have to chase it down. 10 seconds remaining in the minor to Vermette. Penalty kill already, 1-for-1 here tonight at the BB&T Center in Sunrise, Florida. Mike Smith, and he'll clear this one himself, and that's going to do it. Antoine Vermette's out of the box, and we'll get an icing call here against the Coyotes. Well, just a reminder, when the Coyotes win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Coyotes win, celebrate with 50% off your online order at papajohns.com by typing in promo code Coyotes. Offer only available online on regular menu prices.
Well, it's time for Arizona to establish that forecheck. That's their bread and butter. That's how they create a lot of their offense.
Kulikov's shot is blocked away into the corner. Ekman Larsson after it. And behind the net, taking it away is McCulloch. And he'll flip this one and out of the zone back in.
Spent the first 10 minutes of this game short-handed. You lose a lot of your rhythm. You lose players that don't kill penalties. Got to get those players back into the hockey game right now. Guys like Shane Doan.
Give away here and nearly put home. Mike Smith tried to get it there for Vermette, and he slid the block. What would have, in essence, been an empty net.
Yeah, Antoine Vermette just saved the goal.
Board battle now, and the Panthers will get it out. Shots pretty even, 5-4 Florida to this point of the game. We've got 9:27 remaining in the opening period. Coyotes trying to claw their way back to the 500 mark here tonight. Yandel gives it to the captain, Doan, and a weak backhander goes wide. Penalty coming up here. And let's see who they're going to get. Antoine Vermette at the other end. What a chance.
Welcome back. There's a look at Willie Mitchell in the box. Their big shot blocking defenseman, high stick on Hansel in front, who's going hard to the net. Shane Doan was just putting that puck to the vicinity, to Luongo. Martin Hansel draws a penalty, and the Coyotes once again on the power play. They went 2 for 8 last Saturday against the Panthers.
That's our first Arizona Lottery Powerball power play of the night. So the Coyotes with an opportunity to break through here and get the game's first goal. Vermette up front with Doan and Bodker, and the point men Yandel and Ekman Larsson. Goodbranson out there killing the penalty, and he'll send down the length of the ice. Played by Smith for Ekman Larsson. He'll reverse it, and that's where Yandel will set it up.
And the Coyotes did not have a single opportunity on the power play in Tampa. Let's see if they remember how to get it done. One of the most lethal power plays in the NHL. I believe they're second right now.
Second to the Pittsburgh Penguins as it's played back. Ekman Larsson has it. Wrister, and that deflected just wide by Doan.
Well, there's that deflection by Shane Doan, who is all alone in front.
Bodker looks to set it up, and this one's going to be cleared away and down by Dylan Olsen.
I think Florida did that last season as well. They allowed that player, the net front player, in front of the goaltender, and the defenseman would be another layer in front of the offensive guy to try and block and front those shots.
Mikhail Bodker tried to get it down low. He'll get it right back. Into the corner for Doan. Goes in behind the net. Kulikov going to try to clear it. Kept at the line by Ekman Larsson. And down low, Doan. Good board battle there with Brian Campbell. To the line it goes, and Ekman Larsson with it. Across now, Yandel sends one towards the net and just deflected wide.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing. Shane Doan has all that time and space in front.
Yandel finds a streaking Ekman Larson. Drops it. Here's a chance, and just sent wide by Korpikoski. Into the corner now. Coyotes working it around. Gagne to the line. Here's a shot that just went wide. And now played back. Yandel has it to Gagne. Now Gagne down low. Looking around, trying to force it through. Ekman Larson never got it. And it's cleared by Fleischmann.
Yeah, that pass just isn't there. Good sticks by the Panthers through the middle of the ice. Coyotes have a lot more success when they go up and over and around that umbrella.
On the line, Hansel, he'll drop it for Yandel. Across to Stone. And his shot blocked away that time by Branson. Penalty is over, and the Panthers will bring it back through center ice. Good rush there by Sean Thornton as Smith now will steer it behind the net. Chris Summers outlets to Martin Hansel. He'll cross center as this one rolls to Luongo. Coyotes go for a shift change. Under 7 minutes remaining in the opening period. No score tonight between the Coyotes and Florida Panthers. Murphy now. McMillan can't get it out. Jokinen. Oh, and he threw it across. Looking that time for Huberdeau.
Wow, that is a missed opportunity for the Panthers. That was Barkov right in front. Elected to pass that puck.
Into the corner, and now playing it is Kyle Chipchura. Mitchell took that away, and out of the zone it goes for Huberdeau. He'll go to the bench. Puck down low into the corner. Barkov trying to follow it up. He's got it. Out high. Willie Mitchell. Well, Mitchell tried to send one wide. Kyle Chipchura board battle there. Well, Chipchura locked up there with Barkov, and it's freed, and Zbynek McCulloch.
This is Florida's best line. They call them the Killer Bees. They get 8 points in their last 4 games. Barkov, Boys, and Brickenheim.
I get it, Killer Bees. All over it. Ekman Larson has it. Out of the zone, looking for Martin Hansel. And this one rolls right to Luongo, and we'll get a break. No score late in the first period of play tonight from Florida. Welcome back to BB&T Center. No score. Coyotes and Panthers. While we have this moment, we want to send out get well wishes to Mr. Hockey Gordie Howe. Suffered a stroke over the weekend out in Lubbock, Texas, and that brings us to our legacy moment. NHL records held by Gordie Howe when he retired, and I mean the list is long, and certainly get well soon, Gordie, and just one of the greatest, if not the greatest, ambassador to the sport of hockey.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Faceoff going to come inside the Florida zone. I got to meet him when I was working in the minors.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, just told me to hold on to one of his Stanley Cup rings while he went out and did a clinic, and I'm thinking, what would happen to me if I lost this ring?
Yeah, I met him one time too. It's funny. I met a lot of heroes of mine in my day, a lot that have disappointed, but Gordie Howe is not one of them, I can tell you that.
Over the line it goes, and now right to the net in front. That's on Barkov. Scotty Upshall went crashing in front. It's going to be cleared around. Coyotes can't get it out. Upshall looking to set it up, and now it's taken away, and Klinkhammer will go off the boards.
Mike Smith had no stick. Heads up play there by Hansel to get Smith his stick back.
Keith Yandel sends one right back in. Klinkhammer on the right wing corner. Try to get it down low. Rob Klinkhammer working it in behind the net. They get it back to the line. Quickly getting rid of it that time was Ekman Larson, and covering it up is going to be Roberto Luongo. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, full coverage from LeBron's return to Cleveland, including an exclusive sit-down with the King. Highlights from around the NHL and NBA, and instant reaction from Saints Panthers with Donovan McNabb and Jay Glazer. What a World Series Game 7 it was last night. Unreal.
That was a ton of fun. Too often to see Game 7s in baseball, that magnitude.
Gagne behind the net. Ryan Campbell going to try to move it along. Play to the line. Jokinen will get it back to center. McCulloch now. 4.5 or so remaining in this opening period. Shots 7 for the Coyotes, 6 for the Florida Panthers. 8 blocks so far tonight for the Coyotes by 7 different players. As we get a whistle, and they'll bring the face-off coming out.
Look at Sam Gagne. Wearing number 9 for Arizona, 2-game point streak. And that'll get him going. Still has not scored a goal. And you look at his stick there. He's been using white tape for the most part this season. And when you're struggling, you're looking to change things up and spark that offense. He now has the black twig and the black tape to match.
Do you think there's an advantage one way or the other?
You're always superstitious. No, it's personal preference. You ask any goaltender, they always used to think black would hide the puck, but they say otherwise.
We're behind the net now, covered up by Mike Smith. And we'll get a whistle. Did you work on your sticks a lot when you were playing?
Yeah, too much. I don't know why. I could have used a shovel when I played, or a bucket.
I believe this is true. Mario Lemieux, the great Mario Lemieux who played in Pittsburgh, I believe would just take his sticks right out of the box, tape them up, and go with them.
Well, nowadays the stick manufacturers, they curve them. The lies, they can change them and adjust them. The stick flex, the upper part of the stick, the mid part of the stick, or the high part of the stick. They customize them to how players want them. So yeah, pretty much everyone now takes them out of the rack and they're good.
Shot on, stopped that time. Perry with a good look. Fleischman tried to get it in front. Coyotes can't get it out. And now into the corner it goes, and Michael Stone now in a board battle with Perry. Yandel will try to work it up the boards, and this one goes over the glass and out of play.
Another opportunity here by Florida. Actually lose the face-off, but they get it back. Puck pursuit. It's been really good for the Panthers in this first period. Leads to another chance, and Mike Smith with another save. He has looked solid for a goaltender that got shelled the other night in Tampa. Right back, looking for redemption. His numbers, too, off the chart after a loss. So good at bouncing back for his hockey club as he tries to round his game back into form.
He made 27 saves in that game at Tampa Bay the other night. Campbell for Florida. Out of the zone through center ice. Try to move it in over the line. McKenzie with the dump in. Murphy can't take it away. Now this one into the corner. And Murphy and Kopetsky having words. So is Sean Thornton right in the middle of it. Connor Murphy coming back to South Florida. Played a lot of his youth hockey down in this part of the world when his dad Gord was playing here for the Florida Panthers.
That's right. Big Connor Murphy had a scrap the other night in Tampa, and I loved it. You know, your team's down, you're getting blown out. Show some emotion. You know, be embarrassed, and obviously he came out and answered the bell. I like that. And really learn a lot about a team and players in those situations, and Connor Murphy has won my vote.
Yeah, he's paired tonight with Chris Summers, who's back in the lineup, getting an opportunity here on this road trip. David Schlemko, one of the healthy scratches, along with B.J. Crombie, who had a goal the other night at Tampa Bay. Kopetsky will play it. Sends it right back in, trying to get around Michael Stone. Good board battle there. Into the corner it goes, and now out with it is Yandel for Shane Doan. 3-on-2 if the Coyotes move it quickly. Doan over the line. Works it to the trailer. It was Yandel, but he was tied up. A penalty coming up here. It's going to go against the Panthers. Across, and Yandel fanned on it. And we'll get a late power play here for the Coyotes.
What an opportunity. I love it. Keith Yandel stepping up, joining the rush. And if you're a winger for the Florida Panthers, you got a long night ahead of you, because Yandel always joins the play. Every opportunity, this one no different. Shane Doan gets that puck out wide, and he hits Yandel late.
Kopecky, 2 minutes slashing.
Late, and forces Florida to take a penalty. Slash right there in front. Kopetsky, they could have got McKenzie as well.
Coyotes need to cash in here. No score late in the opening period. Ekman-Larsson with it. Now wrist shot stopped. Hansel swatting away. Malaga makes the save, and now hard to the ice goes Marty Hansel after getting cleaned out by Willie Mitchell.
Off the face-off, Keith Yandel. Watch this play. Little saucer pass up and over the stick of Jokinen and right onto the tape of Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Flat. It's not bouncing. That's called a saucer pass. You elevate that puck, alleviate that pressure that the penalty kill tries to put on. Good luck when Yandel and Oliver Ekman-Larsson are out there.
Second Arizona Lottery Powerball power play. Hansel's unit going to work as Gagne will flip to the line. Over to Keith Yandel. Sent one towards the net. Luongo the save. Taken by Erat. Erat, Hansel, and Gagne up front for head coach Dave Tippett. Now Ekman Larsson right to the net. He scores, and I think it might have been deflected by Martin Hansel. It's a power play goal, and the Coyotes get the lead.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what Florida is doing, allowing Martin Hansel to stand in front of Luongo all day long. Watch number 11 in front. He's behind both defensemen, all in front. Luongo has no idea where that shot's coming from and when it's coming. Here's your view from the ice, Schwartz Laser Ice Center. Perfect deflection by Hansel. He'll stand there all day long. What happened to making it a long, hard night if you want to stand in front of the opposition's net?
Hansel gets his second nearly picked, and now Vitale will get it out. Back through center ice. Tipchura gets it in over the line, but the Coyotes are offside. So Hansel gets a power play goal, his second, and the Coyotes have a 1-0 lead late here in the opening period.
And maybe that's something that Luongo wants. I mean, it has to be. That's the only thing I can think of is, hey, you guys try and front the shot. I'll worry about the puck. Don't worry about the guy in front of the net. That's the only thing I can think of.
Vitale will take it away. Gabranson now in a world of trouble. Two players working the end boards for the Coyotes. And now it's played back to the line, and Ekman Larsson finds McCulloch. He'll tee one up. He shoots and stops. Rebound loose in front. And the Coyotes can't buy it. And out of the zone it goes, and moving it back through center is Brad Boyes, and he'll dump one in. Gagne at center. Plays it right back in over the line. Brian Campbell going after it. Hansel gets the goal from Ekman Larsson and Yandel at 17:27. Boyes in over the line. They say the play is outside, goes into the corner. And now Stone will bring it along for Justin Hodgman. Drops it into the corner. Korpikowski, now Hodgman after it. Coyotes with some jump here after scoring that goal, but this time it's turned the other way and out of the zone for Upshaw. Scotty Upshaw looked to get it to the front, but cleared away by Gagne, and it goes right on, and Smith had to be sharp there.
Well, let's go back to that Martin Hansel goal, and Florida has the 28th ranked power or penalty kill in the National Hockey League for a reason, and here it is. Look at Hansel all in front. The deflection off the shaft of Hansel's stick halfway up, finds the back of the net. You gotta if you're a defenseman, you gotta lock up that forward in front. At least lock up his stick, push him out of the way a little bit, and help your goaltender out. Give him a chance. You don't have a chance with big Hansel or Doan in front.
All sorts of room as the puck is going to be played into the corner now. Bodker. And now McCulloch will play it right back to Smith, and we go under a minute remaining in the opening period tonight from Sunrise, Florida.
Coyotes now with 3 power play goals and 11 opportunity versus Florida.
Kulikov now going to try to reverse it. Taken away by Doan, but intercepting is Peary. And it'll be moved right back. Peary now, maybe a 2-on-1. Peary tried to float it across that time. And a good look there for Huberdeau. Goes it behind the net. And now McCulloch will bring it around as Bodker now will get it out, and he clears all the way down. This is going to be an icing. And we're going to whistle here. Well, we got a jam-packed first intermission tonight from BB&T Center here in Sunrise, Florida. Todd will chat with the goal scorer, the power play goal scorer, Martin Hansel. Joe Vitale talks World Series. Joe Vitale's a baseball nut, and we'll have another installment of Nasher Knows.
Well, here's the Doan push. Keep your eye right here on the stick of Doan. Just pushes Antoine Vermette, propels him back into the play right there. That is a wily veteran move there with after that turnover.
Got a false face-off here. And so, let's see, they're going to redo this one. To the right of goaltender Mike Smith.
And by the way, that was a 2-on-1 that ended up almost into a 2-on-2 situation because Doan propelled Vermette back into the play.
That's really the compete that Dave Tippett has been talking about a lot lately. And behind the net, McCulloch. Played all the way back in. 15 to go. Campbell will wrap it around for Florida. Coyotes get a very late shift change here. Stone just trying to move it along the boards. Good keep by Peary. Worked it in behind the net. Fleischman's going to go after it. Just 1 second, and that's going to do it. So the Coyotes get a late power play goal from one of their top 6 in Martin Hanzal. His second of the season. It came with just 1:33 remaining in the opening period. And a much better start. A great response here tonight in Florida by the Coyotes through 20.
Yeah, I thought they really did a nice job weathering an early push by Florida. Mike Smith in particular was extremely good in that first period. And then the Coyotes went on the power play. They gained momentum, and then they controlled and owned the last part of that first period, up 1-0.
End of 1 tonight in Florida at BB&T Center. 12 shots for the Coyotes, 8 for the Florida Panthers in the first period of play. And the lone goal, Martin Hanzal, his second on the power play. And he'll visit with Todd Walsh when we return to Sunrise. 1-0 Coyotes as they get the lead on the power play goal from Martin Hanzal late in the opening period here tonight in South Florida. They also got some pretty good saves and great goaltending in the first 20 from Mike Smith.
Well, did they ever? You look at Mike Smith kicking early in this game, early and often, as Florida came with a big push. Big glove save there, snatches Campbell's shot out of midair. There's that quiet area. Coyotes have to do a better job defending on Mike Smith there, though, to make the save.
Numbers through 1, shot attempts 16 for the Coyotes. We talk a lot about that in the power play. Special teams were tremendous for the Coyotes. They're 2 for 2 on the penalty kill, and they cash in on the power play goal, courtesy of Martin Hanzal.
Yeah, right there. Power play has been the story. When your 5-on-5 play is struggling and offense has dried up a little bit, special teams is what it's all about.
Okay, I mentioned the power play. Martin Hanzal parked in front. You've been watching this all night long, Tyson.
Yeah, Oliver Ekman-Larsson just takes the lane that's given to him, and Hanzal all alone. Willie Mitchell decides he's going to come out front that shot. The other defenseman, Killorn, just lets him all alone in front, unattended, and he makes the Panthers pay.
Owen scoring first under Dave Tippett. The Coyotes have had plenty of success, 143, 25, and 25. And let's see if, we've talked about long periods of momentum, sustained momentum, trying to build on that. Let's see if they can carry it over here after 20.
And I should say that was Kulikov that allowed Hanzal alone all in front. But yeah, you're right. Now it's one period in the books, consistency. Doing it on a regular basis, knowing how you have to play over and over and over again in order to have success in the NHL.
Well, you mentioned Kulikov. He's out there with Willie Mitchell as the pair to begin the second for the Florida Panthers defensive core. Coyotes with that top line of Bodker, Vermette, Stone, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and Zbynek McCulloch put together here tonight. As this one will be played by McCulloch, and the Coyotes will set it up in the opening minute in behind their goaltender Mike Smith. Triple move on to Raleigh Saturday night. Before wrapping up Sunday in D.C., we get a whistle here on the offside. Well, if you know somebody between the ages of 10 and 14 who loves hockey and wants to be a guest broadcaster for the game, then have him come out to the Coyotes Maple Leafs game this upcoming Tuesday at Gila River Arena for the Fox Sports Arizona and Sanderson Ford Kidcaster auditions. Tryouts will be held inside the arena from 6 till 7 at the Coyotes ticket station. That's located across from section 111. Cleared out by Stone. He gets it back through center. Klinkhammer. Well, Martin Hanzal trying to move it along there for Yandel. The Coyotes will get it back in for Martin Erat. Erat now to the corner, trying to feed it out high, but that's broken up beautifully that time by Huberdeau. And back to center where Yandel will set it up. It's sent back in by Marty Hanzal. Off the bench is Connor Murphy. Now into the corner it goes. Erat. Back out high. Murphy holding. Down low, Hansel, back out high it goes, intended maybe for Summers. Puck is played all the way back to center. Good angle off play though by Klinkhammer, and that allows Hansel to get the puck back up the ice.
Oh, Erat wanted that puck. He was all alone in front of Luongo. Martin Hansel just didn't see him. Another breakdown by the Panthers in their own zone.
Hodgman will chase this one around, out high, kept by Campbell. Goes in behind the net. Fleischman now tied up by Chris Summers. Freed though, and it comes back out high, and a chance for Ekblad. Stop, and a rebound. Oh, what a sequence by Mike Smith. Two big saves that time by 41. Played along, they work it towards the front. Now Peary will send it in behind the net. After it is Sam Gagner trying to reverse it. It'll go back to the line, and Peary working it with Campbell. Fleischman now. And now back out high. Here's a chance. That goes wide of the mark.
A big save when it counts. And was that ever? I think that first shot by the Panthers might have hit that far right post, but what a rebound save by Smith.
Sean Thornton eyeing Connor Murphy. We get a whistle here, and they'll bring the faceoff all the way back.
Well, here's a look at Mike Smith and the athleticism. That first shot goes off the right post, but look at the Snow Angel in the blue paint. Here's a real good look at it. There's the post, and that right pad save out of nowhere.
A Chaz Roberts cool play of the game. Great sequence there for Mike Smith. Faceoff, meanwhile, all the way back inside the Florida zone to the right of goaltender Roberto Luongo. Shapira's unit with McMillan and Joe Vitale tonight playing the right side on that line. Good board battle there, taken away by Kyle Shapira, trying to get some room here. Now Shapira walked it towards the front before it's stripped away. And back comes Kopecky as he got bumped off the puck that time by Keith Yandel.
Oh, nice job there. The chemistry between Stone and Yandel.
Now McKenzie. He's going to try to get it out. Kept that time by Gabranson. And now Kopecky drops and they work to the front. McKenzie, his shot was blocked away by Yandel. Goes in behind the net. Now Yandel's going to try to chase this one down. Gabranson keeps. Back out high, Thornton. They say the play's onside and a shot on, and that was blocked away. They work it to the front. Michael Stone going after it. Now Gabranson looking for a deflection in front. Thornton still with it out high. He's in behind the net. Michael Stone lost it. Now it's going to be taken away, and Keith Yandel will get it back to center ice. Up there, that time for McKenzie. Penalty coming up here. Now McKenzie and Yandel having words.
Oh, they dropped the gloves. Keith Yandel wants a piece.
Well, if you go back last year, it was Derek McKenzie that had the hit on Ekman Larsson from behind.
They fought last year, I believe, if my memory is...
And it was Keith Yandel that came to the aid of Ekman Larsson.
But that's not a good exchange. You don't want to see Keith Yandel, your best player, going to the box with McKenzie. And nothing against McKenzie, but he's a fourth-line centerman. Keith Yandel is a two-time All-Star. There's the penalty, little extra by McKenzie, and then Keith Yandel gives him a shot in the back of the head as well.
Shane Doan right in the middle of it, too. Looks like a 4-2, so the Panthers will go to the power play here. Yandel will get 4.
Another big kill coming up. Arizona killed the first 2 power plays of the hockey game. Florida really unable to get anything established because of the zone entries. All starts with this face-off in the defensive zone, though, for Arizona.
So the Coyotes penalty killers Antoine Vermette, Larry Korpikoski, also McCulloch and Ekman Larsson out there.
Campbell for Florida, 51 in red, is the key to Florida's power play. He quarterbacks it on the blue line. It's a lot like Oliver Ekman Larsson and Keith Yandel, what they mean to the Coyotes power play.
So Ekblad and Campbell, the 2-point men. Campbell off the faceoff will set it up for Ekblad. Antoine Vermette all over, but it comes to Campbell. Works it to the front, and a shot. Stop that time, and a good look there for Barkov. As it's played back out high. Ekblad to Campbell. Back out high. Ekblad took a shot, blocked away, and this one out of play. So Antoine Vermette getting a piece of that out high on Aaron Ekblad.
Yeah, good pressure up high, forcing Ekblad to shoot that puck through him. I believe that goes off the stick of Vermette and out of play as Mike Smith's battling through a screen, trying to find that puck. Oh, that goes off someone's head in front. That was Bergenheim.
Behind the net, McCulloch. And he'll clear it all the way down the length of the ice. Vitaly's going to put pressure on here in behind the net against Ekblad. Into the corner now, McMillan comes down to help out Vitaly. Campbell on left wing, a outlet to center for Barkov. Comes into the corner behind the net. Bergenheim trying to poke it along. Vitaly's there, and he'll clear down the length of the ice.
Another bad dump. Puck management not good here for the Panthers on this power play. You dump that puck in, you want to make sure you get first touch on it. Vitaly gets to it and gets it out.
Ekblad will fire one in. Into the corner, Hansel's down low. Chris Summers out there along with Connor Murphy killing off his penalty. Comes in front, nearly got through. Murphy that time tangled up. Puck into the corner, and Connor Murphy will go right after. Got some help there from Chris Summers, but they can't get it out. Ekblad now. Scotty Upshaw deflected that time. Good stick, Chris Summers, and this will get a face-off.
Well, the battles continue. Upshaw and Hansel locked horns earlier in that shift. Summers as well in front. Good sticks in lanes, not allowing that seam pass that Florida's looking for. You're forcing that puck to go up high and take your chances from a shot and a block, hopefully from the point.
Still 34 seconds left in the minor, but a double minor to Yandel. The first minor as this one is set on. Don't forget 4 and 2. Hocker serving the one minor for Yandel. So late in the Florida power play, and it goes behind the net. And Ekman-Larsson will send this one down the length of the ice.
Smart play there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Korpikoski wanted that puck, but want to make Florida come 200 feet.
Over the line for Peary. Now he gets it back out high. Jokinen will leave it there. To Branson. Now UC Jokinen to the front. They score. He set up Peary beautifully. And it's a power play goal. Just 1 second left in the time on Yandel's first penalty, and the game is tied. Peary had the goal Saturday night, and he gets one here.
Yeah, and it's a beauty too. Watch Jokinen. He's going to get this puck on the side boards. Right here, Peary's going to get up into that quiet area. So hard to defend. Almost too high for a defenseman to come up and too low for a forward to come down. And he just releases it. One-timer. Perfectly placed shot. His third of the season. And second in as many games.
Now the Chicago Blackhawk prospect at one point of his career with his third. And it comes on the power play at 5:37. So Yandel will still have to serve the extra 2 minutes.
And if Peary stops that puck instead of one-timing it, Mike Smith gets over and gets into position. That's a heads-up play and a tough shot for a left-handed player.
Barkov's going to pick it up. Coyotes are back to full strength here as it's moved along. Kulikov's shot goes wide. Goes in behind the net. Let's see how the Coyotes respond here. As Kulikov now will play it to the middle. Taken away. Bergenheim couldn't hold that. The Coyotes will get it back to center ice as it's flipped along this time by Justin Hodgman. Willie Mitchell tied up by Gagne as the puck is forced in behind the net. To the line for Ekman-Larsson. And around it goes as Shane Doan will look to set it to the middle. Martin Hansel sends down low. Coyotes with some sustained pressure here inside the Florida zone before the Panthers will free it. And it's cleared out. Sent right back in by Barkov. Brandon Peary just moments ago on the power play, his third of the season. The game is tied at 1. Olsen now in the corner. Erad in there as well. Five-player battle along the end boards. And it's taken away by Scotty Upshaw. Huberdeau sent one deep. Smith out to play behind the net. Throw it to the front, and Hansel will move it along, and Erad with it.
Gutsy pass there by Mike Smith on his backhand up the middle of the ice.
Huberdeau trying to work it up the boards for Scotty Upshaw. That time Summers pitched, no problem, because McCulloch was back to retrieve. Now Klinkhammer will get it in. Change on here for the Coyotes. Gabranson in behind his net. Back to center for Summers. McCulloch inside of his own zone. Right back through center ice. Stone that time on a pick from Gabranson. And now Peary will leave there for Fleischmann. Fleischmann over the line, blocked away by McCulloch. Gets it back out high, Ekblad. Oh, Ekblad still with a puck. Freed, Peary in front, trying to get it past Summers. The Coyotes will get it back to center. And over the line, Bodker with it. Now Bodker back out high, takes a shot. That hit a stick in front. See Jokic, a good forward battle there with Shane Doan. Cleared all the way back. Now he's in the neutral zone trying to set it up. Vermette with a shot. Luongo the save. Good keep of the line by Stone, forcing it in behind the net. After it is Doan. Doan plays it down low in the corner. In behind the net. McMillan. McMillan that time trying to get around Peary. But Larson pinching. He's working hard here. Ekman Larson back to the point with a wrister. That was blocked away.
Good pressure here by Arizona. They needed a little bit of offensive zone time. Back on their heels a little bit too much.
McMillan on left wing. Chips it to the corner. Chipchera after it to the front. It's loose. Kopetsky can't play. Now Summers into the corner, and hitting the outside of the net was Vitale. Goes back to center, and Connor Murphy will take it away. Clears it. Hodgman now. Works it back to center. Well, Vitale after it, but it's taken away. Smart decisions over the last few minutes, too, along the boards, Tyson. No regroups and curls back into the zone. Just simple plays off the boards to get it out.
Yeah, puck management is the name of the game. You don't want to turn it over. Give Florida any type of momentum.
Mitchell now forces it in behind the net for Kulikov. Halfway home in the second period tonight from BB&T Center in a 1-1 tie. Pollock along the end boards.
Takes a big hit to make a play there.
Reed here. Bergenheim now. Back of the line, a shot just wide. Good look there for Dylan Olsen. Backhanded out by Gagne. And this one will roll back inside the Florida zone.
That's one thing Florida's doing in this game. They're coming at you hard. Their first forechecker, first two forecheckers, they're coming hard. Gonna force turnovers. And they did on that last shift.
Saw that in Glendale over the weekend. Ekman Larson move it back to center ice.
They send two forecheckers. That means they're susceptible up high if you can get past their first layer of defense.
The pace of this game has picked up considerably here in the second period. Upshaw looks to get it in, denied by Hansel, and now fired right back in and over the top of the net by Olsen. Summers now for Stone, back through center. Hansel will deflect one in. Coyotes look to change it up. Mitchell for Peary. Now Antoine Vermette will give it off, and Doan has it over the line with a shot, and that goes off netting and out of play. 1-1 tie here in Florida. Things up in the second.
Todd Walsh on the bench with Rob Klinkhammer. Rob, after that goal, it looked like some quality offensive zone time, and you didn't let them take the momentum, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're going to score all the time, but we got to just stay our game and keep it simple. Just in the old zone is where we like to play and just getting pucks to the net.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Guys?
Welcome back here. 1-1 the score tonight at the BB&T Center in Florida. Offensive zone face-off for the Coyotes. And, you know, as Rob was talking about, it really is all about momentum shifts and changes as Smith kicks that one out.
It's all how you handle them. You lose that momentum. That's why that next shift you get scored on is so important. Or you score a goal. You want to keep it or you want to get it back.
To the corner, Kopetsky looking to set it up there for Sean Thornton. Thornton in behind that, tied up there by Yandel. And the Coyotes will get it out back to center. Shane Doan. Bodker now. Back out high, Yandel. Try to work it in front. Bodker was there. Now Bodker will go after it. And Kopetsky clears.
Bodker's been a little bit quiet for me in the last 5 games. No points after scoring 5 goals.
Here's a chance in front. It rolls right to the net. Oh, and they can't get it past. Justin Hodgman was there looking for the loose rebound.
Oh, right on the doorstep, too. What a left-hand save by Luongo.
Gagne will bring it out. Coyotes had 2 kicks at that one, and Hodgman brings it in. Now Hodgman to the front. Oh, what a setup there. And unable to get it past Luongo was Korpikoski.
What a setup is right. 2 real good plays by Hodgman.
And behind the net it goes. Bergenheim tied up with McCulloch. Laurie Korpikoski down there battling as well. A loose stick right underneath the puck. Coyotes can't get it out. To the line. Campbell goes in behind the net. Barkov. And now Gagne will try to reverse it. Look to buy a little bit of time, but Bergenheim's all over him.
Nice job there by Gagne, though, to eat that puck.
Played to Ekblad. Ekblad shoots and a stop. Batted away that time by Smith. Smart play. Hodgman gets it back to center. And played right back in. And Smith sends it around, can't get it out. Loose puck in front. Boy, and every time he goes to play it, Florida's just trying to throw it towards the net.
Empty net. Upshaw was in front. It was Mike Smith, though, that laid the grocery stick down.
Ekman Larson, that got by the glove of Luongo and wide. Joe Vitale out high. Here's a chance and a shot blocked away. Well, Brandon McMillan above that right circle had a pretty good look. Now back through center, Scotty Upshaw over the line. Rooster wide. Huberdeau now to the point. Willie Mitchell. That trickles wide. Coyotes will try to punch it out. Here comes Brandon McMillan. Tied up by Jokinen. Countering is Upshaw. He'll get it back and over the line. He drops it. Upshaw. And a stop by Smith. Well, chances at both ends, and the Coyotes had a golden one just moments ago. Justin Hodgman looking to get a backhander by Luongo. Welcome back. It's time to take a look at tonight's Taco Bell second period game summary. And block shots off the charts tonight for the Coyotes. Martin Hanzal as well with that power play goal.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. Blocking shots, sacrificing your body, whatever it takes to win the hockey game. Paying attention to the details, the guts of the game. As you hear Dave Tippett talk so much about, winning hurts.
Talking about 5-on-5 defense, and Keith Yandel leading the way with 5 block shots here tonight.
He's been good. He had 2 blocks on that last shift. Logging a lot of minutes, almost played 10 minutes in the first period. Probably much the same here in the second.
Erad into the corner, battling with Goodbranson. Goes behind. Hanzal tried to throw it to the front. Klinkhammer and Hanzal looking to pick up the loose puck in behind the net. And Dylan Olsen is in there as well. Hanzal went down to the ice, and it's going to be the Panthers bringing it back to center as Fleischmann will send one into the corner. Jokinen after it, the former Pittsburgh Penguin, works into the front. Here he is there, but that's deflected wide. Fleischmann now. Comes back out high. Ekblad with a shot. That's turned away and out of the zone back to center for Klinkhammer before it's sent right back in. Going to be an offside here. And that will bring the face-off out.
Well, this is our Nissan high excitement player of the game. Take a look at Keith Yandel here, guys. Watch his entire shift. Here's one of the block shots. Right there, puck goes wide. Just good defensive play. You look at the minutes, almost 12 minutes in this period. Another good defensive play. Flushes that puck up the boards, and out the Coyotes go. That's just good hockey sense. Good stick.
I think he's elevated his defensive game this year. Probably playing the best defensive brand of hockey since I've been around anyways.
Maturing as a player.
Big hit that time as McKenzie went hard with Summers. And Al Thornton will bring it back. He took a heavy hit that time from Summers, and this one bounces over the glass and out of play. And Al Thornton going over to have words with Summers, and good for Chris. He got hit pretty hard by Derek McKenzie, and he takes out his frustrations on Thornton.
Yeah, jumped right back up, and he knows he doesn't have to fight Thornton. Thornton's just trying to bully guys out there, and intimidation, and Summers wants nothing to do with it.
1-1 the score, late second. Welcome back at a 1-1 tie. Tomorrow night, Halloween. And they're dancing. It's like the Thriller video.
Look at the makeup job on that. Surprised you made it up to the booth.
You know, he's actually got, I think, a little more than you have on.
Anything to try and make this nose look smaller.
I didn't know if that was possible. Played it behind the net.
To make my nose look smaller?
No. I'm not going there. You know that. Bodker works it to the front. Talking about the makeup.
No, I know.
Into the corner now. Bodker will work it in behind the net. Campbell is there, so is Shane Doan. The Panthers will get it out. Brad Boy's trying to move it along back through center. Barkov has it. Oh, it's blocked away. Boyce goes after it. Now the Coyotes will come back. Shane Doan. End of a long shift here, but Doan's going to try to move it along before it's poked away that time by the youngster Barkov. Back of the line it goes. Now Yandel. No lane there, so that's deflected wide, and Bergenheim will pick it up. 3.5 to go, second period in a 1-1 tie. Marty Hansel tonight is second. Brandon Peary his third.
Well, the first 5,000 fans will get an Oliver Ekman-Larsson bobblehead, courtesy of Fox Sports Arizona on Saturday, November 8th, when the Coyotes face the New York Islanders. Buy your tickets on ArizonaCoyotes.com or by phone at 480-563-PUCK. Look at that bad boy.
Perfect hair.
Perfect
Coiffed.
hair, yeah. Little dark, though.
Set in. Stopped that time by Smith.
Well, Ekman-Larsson is more blondish.
Should there be like a vodka right next to him?
Yeah.
The puck is played into the corner.
Yeah, they're tight. They're roommates.
Great friends.
Yeah.
Played out of the zone all the way through center. Out of the corner it goes. Bukestad back out high. Kulikov, and he sent it over the top. We're going to whistle here. This one will be set inside the zone, so even though it was shot, you know, that's one of those new rules. Even though it was shot out by a Florida player, it'll stay in the offensive zone.
I like that rule, too.
Yeah, I do, too.
They want to create more goals, more offense. It's a good way to do it.
Goalies probably don't like it. Coaches probably don't like it.
The other thing we haven't talked about is the hash marks. If you look at the hash marks, I mean, they're a big difference between this year and last year. A couple feet allow a little bit more separation from the defense to the offense to get that maybe shot off a little quicker.
Hansel with it over the Florida line. Glove save Luongo, and he'll wait to get a faceoff inside the Panthers zone.
We always talk about tight gaps, and that's the reason for it with the hash marks. It's a bigger gap, so you get maybe that half second to win a faceoff and get a shot away. Look at Martin Hansel.
Had a similar situation earlier this year when Keith Yandel was set up at one of the hash marks.
Yeah.
Was able to get a little separation and score a goal.
That's right. It would not have happened last season.
Out it goes. McCulloch for Ekman Larsson. Gets it up the boards. Now Hansel will try to move it along and over the line for Erat. Martin Erat's had some pretty good jump in this one here tonight in Sunrise. Leaves it there, and now Klinkhammer will bring it around.
He's had a lot better season. Last year was a real write-off. He's engaged this year. Big part of their offense this season. 5 points on the year.
Back to center, Fleischman. And now McCulloch. Zbynek McCulloch getting it back and over the line. He'll take a sharp angle shot. That goes wide. 2 minutes remaining, period 2. Branson through the middle. And a shot by Kopetsky goes wide. And back comes Hodgman. He's got some speed here as he'll dump one in. Justin Hodgman following it up. He'll go behind the net. All sorts of jam that time and a shot. Luongo the save. Now Summers plays it in behind the net. Got it to the front. A chance. Oh, and a point-blank save. Luongo on Korpikoski. Justin Hodgman flying all over there, and now the puck over the glass and out of play. All sorts of speed from number 12, Justin Hodgman.
Well, he did it last time these two teams faced. Look at him get in on the forecheck. Puck pursuit. Pounding that puck down that led to this scoring chance by Korpikoski. Everything this line got on that shift was because of the effort of Hodgman. He creates plays. He creates offense. That's what the Coyotes need more of. And maybe that's what Don Maloney was talking about. If the Coyotes don't start winning and playing better, things are going to change around here. A guy like Hodgman could stick around.
Into the corner it goes. For Justin Hodgman, you know, we talk about how well Dave Tippett manages the in-game aspects of being a head coach. As this one rolls by Smith, I would imagine we're going to see more Hodgman as this game goes on after a shift like that. Really making things happen as Donell will play it back and over the line. Plays it in behind the net. Boys will get it out back to center ice. Bergenheim with it. Smith makes the save. And he'll flip this one back to safety. Back and over the line. Leaves it for Bodker. Play is onside, so it'll go deep. Under a minute to go in the second period and a 1-1 tie. Hansel late first, Peary early second.
Dave Tippett throws Hodgman out. He's got the puck right now.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about, you know, and now he gets stripped of the puck and it's turned the other way. Bukestad, and now Bukestad with a shot, and he's stopped that time by Smith. Maybe his toughest save of the game.
And that's a play by Hodgman that you can't make. Can't turn that puck over last minute of a period. The big save by Mike Smith, who bailed him out.
So we see a little bit of both out of the youngster. As Chipchura will play it down low, got it to the front. Hodgman not exactly a youngster, but you know what I mean. He is towards the NHL, just his second game as the period comes to an end. But Mike Smith bailing out Justin Hodgman here.
Yeah, nice speed to the neutral zone, but that was 3 Florida Panthers. He knew as soon as he turned it over, it can't happen. That's what you have to stay away from.
Well, we got a great intermission lined up for you. Todd will chat with Keith Yandel, Jay and Dan on thin ice, and Nasher Knows returns. Through 2, we've got a great one tonight at BB&T Center in Florida, in Sunrise, Florida. Martin Hansel, a power play goal late in the first, and then Brandon Peary getting his third on the power play early on in the second period. It's 1-1. Todd Walsh when we return. Coyotes hockey on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Behind the Mask Hockey Shops, serving Arizona since 1994. Visit one of our 3 Valley locations or shop online at behindthemask.com. And by Arizona Tire Pros. Over 20 locations statewide. Find yours at ArizonaTirePros.com. Welcome back, 1-1 through 2 tonight in South Florida. And I guess you could call this area Jody Jacksonville, right? A shout out to our very own Jody Jackson, who works with us on the home shows. And good one here tonight, the power play. has been the big difference for both teams tonight. Martin Hansel getting a power play goal and Brandon Peary for the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, shot attempts, 38 for Florida, 5-on-5. They've had the better of the Coyotes. But a big 20 minutes, they have to find a way to get this done. Tied 1-1. Gotta dig deep.
1-1 through 2. The goalies have been a big story.
Yeah, Mike Smith stopped 17 of the 18 shots by the Panthers. Good job in front of him, too. We haven't talked enough about how the Coyotes have played in front of their goaltender, Mike Smith, and then the other end, Luongo, has been just as good. They had a real good goalie clinic last time these two teams faced off on Saturday in Gila River.
So it's been fun to watch it at both ends. Goaltender Mike Smith in there. Getting set for the third period of play. Florida with 17 shots. He's made 16 saves. Hey, don't forget to visit the newly remodeled Gila River Arena Terrace. It's located on the upper suite level above the Den. Open to everyone in attendance. Fans can enjoy drinks, food, and social scenes 1 hour before the puck drops and up to 2 hours after the final horn. Plus, the terrace will feature live music at all weekend games. And we were talking about it a couple of games ago, I think maybe when we were in Tampa Bay on Tuesday night, but the terrace is absolutely beautiful, a lot better than
He's got your workout gear on. I saw you in the gym wearing that.
Look, I saw that guy pop up on my monitor. I tried to turn away and keep a straight face. And how do you read a promo and then see that guy?
Looks like one of your suits.
I've been getting ripped for my tie tonight.
I like it. It's bright. Hey, the sunshine came up today.
Absolutely.
Gotta brighten things up with a nice shiny tie.
All the guys in the truck that are on their fourth day of same clothing wear, you know.
Who doesn't like clip-ons?
Underway in the third. Kulikov for Florida will get it deep. Davidic Pollock is after it. Shane Doan. There's nothing wrong with clip-ons. Flip back in. Vermette. Goes in behind the net and around the boards. Now Bodker will take it away. Back out high. Ekman Larsson. He's on pace for about 30 minutes tonight of ice time. Works it to the front. Owen Doan was ready to tee one up.
Yeah, Oliver Ekman Larsson sure had a solid game here so far.
Down low for Ekman Larsson. Curls behind the net. Dropped it to the front. It's in the crease. Doan is there again. Now off Ekman Larsson and cleared out back to center. Good job by Vermette to help out defensively, but it's turned the other way. As Bergenheim tries to get it to the net, and this one will be covered by Mike Smith.
Well, good look at Oliver Ekman Larsson paired with McCulloch to try to settle his game down. He's going to get this puck by Bodker. He goes all the way around the net, but I would have liked to see him shoot here. Just throw it at the net because you got Shane Doan in front.
Go up high, you know?
Don't look for that cute little pass, the extra dish. Throw it at the pads of Luongo when you have traffic in front.
Bjugstad and Hansel on the draw. Comes in front. It's loose. And it's going to be knocked away. Korpikoski will give way. Klinkhammer that time as it's played into the corner.
One stick in front by Keith Yandel. That was Huberto.
Around the boards now. Hansel will get it down low. Behind the net, Erat's going to give chase. Huberto along the far boards. Panthers get it back to center. They'll dump one in. Scotty Upshaw. And now Hansel with it. Minute and a half gone in this third period of play. 1-1 the score tonight between the Coyotes and the Florida Panthers. Hansel picks it up. A one-man band against three. And now Fleischman taken away that time. Korpikoski to the line for Connor Murphy over to Summers. He'll play it in behind the net. They work it down low. They're intended for Martin Hansel, the goal scorer. And now Summers pinching. Coyotes look to set it up. Gagne and Peary. Hodgman trying to strip it away. And out of the zone it goes for Brandon Peary. He's the other goal scorer here tonight. This one up into the netting, and so we're going to face off back in the neutral zone.
Well, Hodgman getting a little extra ice time for Dave Tippett. Dave Tippett, one of the best bench coaches in the National Hockey League. He's got a feeling coaches often get. He's going to maybe get that go-ahead goal, and It's about that reward system, too. You hear coaches talk about it all the time. Hey, I don't dictate ice time. Players do. The better they play, the more they're going to play.
Pretty easy concept when you think about it. Stone will get it across center, intended for Vitale.
You're not out there as a coach to make friends. You're in the winning business.
It's all about the W's. Yandel clears to center. Kopetsky now for Florida. Got it in over the line. Sean Thornton works it behind the net. Forward battle there. Also down low, Derek McKenzie. And now Kopetsky to the line. Kulikov. Oh, deflected wide. Stone trying to chop it along. Vitale will get it out. And here comes Yandel with it. Keith Yandel with a wrist shot up high on Luongo. Boy, Mitchell will take that one away. Took a bump from Chipchura.
Juicy rebound, though.
Sent back in by Thornton. Both teams elect to change up. And Doan unit out there again with Antoine Vermette and Mikkel Boedker. Boedker with it and over the line. To the point, Ekman Larsson, he'll send one in. McCulloch now pitching in from the right side. But this one goes past and all the way down is Vermette. Will play it for Ekman Larsson. That one in the skate of Shane Doan, but it's picked off by Vermette. Drops it, Doan shoots, glove save, Luongo.
That was ripped. How about that save? Little Hollywood there from Luongo. Shane Doan just walks into this one. Nice job by Vermette in the neutral zone. Puts it on a tee for Doan.
Grant Fuhr-esque.
Yeah, and Doan gets all of that one. The big boomer. That's some heat on it.
Grant Fuhr could make an average save look spectacular.
Oh, you loved it. He sold it. One of the best.
You know that. Here's the chance in front, just sent wide.
Oh, missed the net all alone. And Erat's looking at his left hand. He took a whack.
Goes back it over the line. Quick counter here. Klinkhammer gives it to Erat. In over the line. Erat drops it. Yandel pull-up move. Got upended. Penalty coming up here. They're going to get, I believe, Scotty Upshaw.
Oh, yeah. Or is that, yeah, Upshaw on the back check. And that's what Keith Yandel does. He forces you.
Florida, number 19, 2 minutes. Hooking.
Well, he's created two penalties tonight, right?
In
Keith Yandel.
uncomfortable situations. The speed. You see the hook. Little can opener on Yandel by Upshaw. And, you know, Gallant, the coach of the Floridas, had a message for his team. Stay out of the box. It killed them last time in Arizona. The worst power plays, or penalty kills, excuse me, in the NHL.
Arizona Lottery Powerball power play back on the ice. Coyotes 1 for 2 with 6 shots, and they'll redo the faceoff here to the left of goaltender Luongo.
All about this first face-off. You want to establish the power play, set it up.
It's been great all year, and it cashes in here. This would be obviously huge. Coyotes with their lone goal on the power play tonight for Martin Hanzal. Ekman Larsson and Yandel assisted on that power play goal back late in the first period, and they're both out there here in the third for the man advantage. Doan, Vermette, Boedker up front. To the line it goes. Yandel across. Ekman Larsson skates. He shoots and a stop that time. In the crease, Doan swatting away. They feed it to the line. Ekman Larsson to Yandel. Now Doan trying to force it through the middle.
Well, that pass isn't there.
No,
Just not there.
good keep though, and into the corner for Boedker. Boedker hits the trailer at Yandel. Pushed it into the corner that time, looking for Doan. Good keep of the line by Yandel. Now Ekman Larsson. This one's going to go across and over the glass and out of play.
Every time the Coyotes try that seam pass, that's just too cute. It's not there. Shane Doan did it, and then I believe that was Boedker that tried it again. Just keep it simple. Up, down, and over, and get the shot from the middle of the ice.
Yeah, the high-low has worked well, but Florida sealing off at cross ice. Bukestad on the draw against Gagne. Gagne, Erad, Hansel out there now for the power play. Point men remain the same. Yandel and Ekman-Larsson. Gagne behind it. Stripped to the puck that time by Mitchell, and it's cleared out.
Good play there by Mitchell. Gagne gets his pocket pick from behind. Good speed by the wily veteran Mitchell.
Out of the zone, Yandel. Room in over the line, takes a wrister, Luongo the save, and a rebound. Yandel just trying to poke it in front, and this one's going to be cleared and out. 22 to go to the power play.
Another example there. Keith Yandel makes it look so easy. Taking that puck end to end.
Gagne. Gagne and Campbell battle for it. In behind the net. Taken away by Willie Mitchell. Good feed for Fleischman. And he forces it out. Penalty is over, so Florida is back to full strength. Yandel sends it right back in. Aaron Ekblad. And the young defenseman will bring it back to center ice. Played to the line, and now Campbell. And Ekblad. Smith will get this one. And he dishes there for Chris Summers. Connor Murphy trying to move it along. Good help there from Hodgman. Now Summers is going to go after it. Gets it back to center ice. Hodgman can't play it along, and so now in over the line. Bergenheim into the corner. Boyes has it. Bumped up by Murphy. And Hodgman comes to the rescue, and he'll skate it out. Hodgman still in the puck. Drops it for Korpikoski. Now Hodgman will send it in behind the net.
Oh, I guess he was going to try it again. He turned it over in the second period. Not that time. Good zone entry. He's cut the wheels.
Out of the zone, Perry for Florida. Off the glass. And now out as Chipchura moves it for Yandel, and he gets it right back to number 24. Kyle Chipchura trying to work it out high for Stone, and that's broken up. And now Fleischman tries to find Peary. Peary over the line, a shot, and a stop that time by Smith. And boy, what a hit that time as they're all over Keith Yandel now.
Yeah, could Yandel ever lay him out?
Willie Mitchell's in the middle of it. Good Branson as well. And you can hear the referee saying it's a great hit. What is going on? Oh, that's Wes McCauley. Wes McCauley said it was a great hit. What are you upset about?
Oh, absolutely. I've watched it a couple times now, and things getting ugly in there.
And Chipchura's going to go, and he's going to go with Gabranson.
Branson's a big guy. Chipchura with a lot more experience in this situation as the linesmen try to separate the two. That's just a good hockey hit. After the shot, Keith Yandel just lays into him. Shoulder right on the money. Things starting to heat up here in FLA.
Let's take a look at the game summary. It's brought to you by Tire Pros. The goals in this one, Oliver Ekman-Larsson shot deflected by Martin Hansel. Power play goal in the first. It came at 17:27. Florida would answer. After Martin Hansel sets up the screen, Brandon Peary his third. From Johan and Gabranson, that came at 5:37 of the second period. Goaltenders at both ends have been terrific.
Well, they really have, and Mike Smith is going to have to continue that the rest of the way. 12-13 left.
Roberto Luongo doing well at the other end. Grant Fierce style save there. As we take a look at our Mid-First Bank on-ice leader, and it is the goaltenders. They've been sensational at times here tonight.
Yes, they have. And one more look at that Keith Yandle hit on Peary. And I see his elbow come up, but it's the shoulder that makes initial contact. It's just the follow-through. Right on the button. And it draws a crowd. Rightfully so. Even up.
It's a great hit.
Yeah, everybody agrees. So still 5-on-5. The good thing for the Coyotes, no penalty for Keith Yandle. You want him out on the ice in this situation. In every situation.
So we roll on. Jokin and Gabranson in the penalty box. McMillan and Chachur for the Coyotes. Back out high it goes. And now Erad with a shot. Oh, getting the stick on it was Luongo. He was leaning. He was kind of out of position, but he made the save. And back in by Huberdeau. In behind the net. Bjugstad trying to center it. To the line now, Willie Mitchell. He shoots over the top of the net.
High heat. That's where Klinkhammer has to be high on him.
Now Mitchell. A shot on. Smith the save. Into the corner now. Yandle flips it along, and the Coyotes will look to get it out.
Coyotes are running around here in the defensive zone. That's your defenseman, Willie Mitchell. That's Klinkhammer's man.
In behind the net. Now we get a whistle here, and it looks like a penalty coming up.
Charging.
Yeah, they're going to get Florida, right?
Wow. I got to take a look at this one. It's Upshaw to the box again. His second penalty of the game.
Upshaw, 2 minutes, charging.
Charging the call. Let's take a look. And it leaves his feet. Good call there by the referee. Upshaw trying to spark his hockey club with a big hit, but you got to keep your feet on the ice. So the Coyotes once again off to the power play.
Arizona Lottery Powerball power play. Gerard Gallant not happy. Coyotes will get an offensive zone face-off here. And it's Vermette, Doan, and Bodker again with Yandle and Ekman-Larsson. It seems like Keith Yandle has been out there for about the last 5 minutes.
Well, I'm sure if Dave Tippett could, he'd have him out for all 60 minutes of this game.
McKenzie can't push Ekman-Larsson off the point, and a shot is off the netting, and so we'll get a whistle.
Right off of Shane Doan in front again, who is all alone. You look at the power play ice time. Keith Yandle leads everybody in the NHL with 5 minutes, 28 seconds. He pretty much plays the whole 2 minutes of the power play.
Ekman-Larsson at 5:14 is on that list. And what an opportunity here for the Coyotes with 10:58 remaining in regulation in a 1-1 game.
Let's keep an eye on 19, Doan in front, the work he does.
Mitchell off the face-off, wraps it around, and it's cleared by the veteran D-man. Now Smith behind the net, playing it in the trapezoid. Quick outlet over the line, Bodker, and he drops it there for Vermette. Now Vermette tied up there by Derek McKenzie, and it's cleared out by Kopetsky. .120 remaining in the power play. Doan with it. Over the line, Yandle back out high, Ekman-Larsson. And now he gets it back. Bodker. Bodker, he shoots. Directed. Again, the stick of Luongo keeps it out.
Got tipped in front. I believe that was Antoine Vermette with the high tip.
Over the line it goes, and now Bodker gets it deep, and it's Brian Campbell there, and he'll send it around, can't get it past Erad. Erad tried to find Ekman-Larsson before it's cleared away and sent by McKenzie. Now Martin Erad with 36 to go in the power play. For Gagne. Flips it along. Coyotes trying to Set it up. Stone now. Flipped back out high. Yandel got a shot away. That goes wide. Martin Hanselin behind the net. He's got the Coyotes goal. To the line. Stone gets a shot through and a stop that time. Big rebound. Good board battle here. Kulikov coming away with it to the Coyotes, and Stone shoots. It's blocked. And he'll get it right back. Hansel sets it up. Stone. Yandel, but he's blocked. And now Kopetsky out, and here's Scotty Upshaw. Right to the net. He scores. Right out of the penalty box goes Upshaw, and it's 2-1 Florida.
Well, it started right at the end of that power play. Keith Yandel just trying to get this puck through. One block, and then Yandel's going to get this puck back, and McKenzie blocks it, and it leads to this Upshaw breakaway, and he makes no mistake, opens up the 5-hole on Smith. And here's the block coming, the shot right there. Off they go, Kopetsky up to Upshaw. Beautiful sequence there for the Panthers. Opportunistic by Upshaw.
Bjugstad now into the corner. Kopetsky and McKenzie assist on Upshaw's goal at 10:56. Huberdeau has it. Panthers with their first lead of the hockey game, and a big hit there by Hodgman, and he'll bring it to the line, but not out.
Next shift so important after a goal. Got to get that momentum back.
Locked up that time was McCulloch. Bjugstad gets one through, and Smith the save. And now some pushing and shoving in front of the net as well.
Well, the Coyotes have to be real careful here. Huberdeau and Hodgman lock up in front. Down by a goal now all of a sudden.
Well, Scotty Upshaw right out of the penalty box scores, and it's 2-1 Florida.
Back, and here's how that play developed for Florida. Good block in front. The shot's blocked. Stop it there, guys. This is the guy you got to be worried about. Stone knows he's coming out. He's aware of the time left on the clock, but he gets caught puck watching a little bit when Yandel had it. First of all, that puck by Yandel has to get through. They block it, and back they come the other way. You would like to see Stone back off that blue line a little bit, being more of a safety position, knowing that Upshaw was ready to step out on the ice. It was just a bad timing play. The goaltender as well typically bangs his stick on the ice to let his defenseman know that the man's coming out of the box and to be ready.
Brian Campbell will send one in behind the net. Fleischmann lets it go and around the boards. Jokinen try to put it in front. It's turned the other way, and out come the Coyotes. Donald sent one in on the delayed offside. It goes up on the netting, and so it'll come outside.
And for Florida, they haven't allowed much as far as third period goals go. They've only allowed 2 third period goals all season long. That's incredible and not good news for Arizona. They're going to have to dig deep. They're going to be taking a few more chances as well. So you know Florida's going to be talking about it on their bench, being real smart with the puck on both blue lines.
Stone rips one in. It'll go in behind the net where Luongo steers for Campbell. Fleischmann now. Overskated the puck, but he'll get it deep. Smith plays behind the net.
One of those goals allowed by Florida was by Justin Hodgman in the third period.
Yandel gets it out. Cleared back into the neutral zone. That's where Vermette goes after it, but he lost it. Kopetsky. Love save there by Smith, and he'll hold. And so we'll get a face-off coming here.
You thought Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Keith Yandel were active in this game before. They're going to be jumping every chance. Yandel will take a breather on this bench. 7:40 to go. Coyotes down by a goal. They need some offense in a big way. Shoot everything, crash the net. Luongo has looked real steady for Florida.
Well, I mentioned after the second period that Oliver Ekman-Larsson was on a pace for 30 minutes. I would imagine Keith Yandel is going to be right there with him. Played back in. Speaking of Ekman Larsson, he has the puck thrown to the glove of Luongo. He holds on. Remember, we talked last Saturday night, too, about throwing a lot of low shots at Luongo.
Yeah, keep it away from his gloves. Nice little look here. Skill play by Oliver Ekman Larsson. In stride, kicks it up to his stick off his skate. Not easy to do. I would have toe picked there, I'm sure.
Gagne and Kulikov, and now Gagne will come away with it. At the line, Ekman Larsson couldn't keep. Hansel there to support. Kulikov will take it away, and the Florida Panthers will dump it back in. They're going to whistle here, so they'll bring the faceoff back on the icing with 7:12 remaining shots. The 27-23 for the Coyotes, but 2-1 Florida after that Upshaw goal back at 10:56 here in the third.
Well, you need a goal. Comes down to faceoffs towards the end of the game as you look at Martin Hansel. 10 wins, 5 losses tonight. He's one of the top in the entire NHL in the circle this season. He's gotten better and better every year.
Coyotes win the draw. Gagne works into the front, and that's just deflected wide. And behind it at Erad. Maybe the Coyotes can get a greasy one here. We talk about greasy goals. Maybe off a shin or something, a deflection. Puck played right back in. Michael Stone will bring it out. Played back Gagne, let it go. Willie Mitchell has it for Florida. And Connor Murphy will play it back for Lauri Korpikoski. Out high, Summers takes a shot, stop, rebound, loose in the crease.
Well, he was there.
Yeah, good job by Summers to get that shot through.
Yeah, high shot. A real rare rebound from Luongo. As I mentioned, you want to keep it away from the gloves, but watch the center drive. You see them come right down the gut. 2 guys converge on Luongo. That was Gagne and Hodgman. And he ends up dropping it. Just can't find it. Got to sniff those out.
Hodgman out there right now with a Klinkhammer and Korpikoski. Korpikoski has it. Trying to curl out high. He'll send one to the corner. Hodgman is there. Hodgman thrown to the middle. Korpikoski with a shot. Hit a body in front, and it's cleared out.
Good job by Ekblad. 18-year-old rookie. Logging some big minutes here tonight.
Behind the net for Connor Murphy.
Oh, no call on the play.
Korpikoski now to Hodgman across the line. Now McCulloch back at center. To Summers. Flips one along. Coyotes trying to get it out. They will. Back through center. Played right back. And now Doan with it. Ekblad now for Florida. Got it through center. 5:22 remaining in the third period of play. Coyotes trailing it by 1. McCulloch for Ekman Larsson. Oliver will bring it right back in over the line. This play offside for men about a second and a half in. Mike Smith, good look here on the Phantom Cabot. One of his saves. Panthers lead 2-1. Keith Yandle, we've been talking a lot about his ice time, and not quite up to where Oliver Ekman Larsson is, but not all that far behind. Probably going to finish in the 26-minute range here with 5:12 remaining.
Yeah, 5:12 going. You know they're going to probably eat up a good 3.5 minutes of that time on the clock. They need to dig deep here.
And the man that used to sleep on your couch in San Antonio, Keith Yandle, 5 shots, 3 blocks. Into the corner it goes, behind the net. Huberdeau has it. Now Huberdeau wraps it in front, and that's going to be taken away. And the Coyotes will look to move it along with Michael Stone. Good outlet there. Bodker, he's got room. Up on left wing as he pulls up. Knocked off his stick and all the way back.
I just do not like that stop-up play by Bodker right there. His speed, he can turn any defenseman around and dictate where he wants to go with that puck and go. Take that puck wide, force him into a penalty, but get that puck deep.
He's selfish, right? I know he's always looking to pass, looking for his teammates. I get that, but
Everyone says he's a passer. He's not a passer. He's a shooter.
Peary now. That one thrown up the middle by Ekman Larsson. Turn. Peary will take a shot, and that goes wide. Billy Mitchell now down low. 4:10 remaining. And back to center ice now for Gagne. Ekman Larsson over the line. Now McCulloch will get one towards the net, blocked away. Kopecky got that one. Here's Peary the other way. Peary now, he shoots over the top of the net. And this one over the glass and out of play. Okay, 2-1, 3:47 to go.
Well, here's another look at Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Nice play here by the Panthers. Blocked that shot. Away they go. It was almost like that Upshaw play. You got to give the Panthers credit. They're digging deep. They made a total commitment to defense and doing the things it takes to win.
Saturday night you predicted Justin Hodgman, so I got to go back to Nostradamus here. Who's going to tie it?
Oh, geez, you're putting a lot of pressure on me, bud. A lot of pressure.
McKenzie's all banged up.
Yeah, what a game he's had here.
Who do you got tonight?
Oh, boy.
You called the Doan hat trick. You called the Hodgman goal.
Calling me out, eh? I don't have my crystal ball here tonight.
You gave me the winning lottery numbers the other night.
Let me go, Hansel.
Played all the way back. And now Stone will move it out. McKenzie's gone to the Florida locker room.
Looks like they're missing a few bodies on that bench. 2 empty seats for Florida. That's what happens when you block shots.
Ekblad nearly tipped in that time by Hodgman. Into the neutral zone. Ekblad's going to walk it up.
The kind of faith that Gallant has in Thornton. 4th line out there for Florida.
Well, you know, in the 2 games over the last week, Kopetsky's been pretty good for the Florida Panthers, I think, in a limited role.
Oh, he's been really good. Trying to keep a lead. They got their 4th unit out.
Doan has it. Rister rolls behind and nearly got past Luongo.
Oh, nobody saw it. Shane Doan saw it a little bit too late. He stopped skating. He thought Luongo had it.
Branson now.
That would have been a greasy one that you're talking about.
Huberdeau trying to get around McCollum. Now Doan's going to look to move it out, and he does. Ekman Larsson leading the rush. He'll play it into the corner. Goes in behind the net. Dylan Olsen trying to get it out. Kept by Gagne. Time really a factor here. Fleischmann now the other way. Fleischmann shoots, and it's stuck by Smith. Mark that one. It comes in front. The Coyotes will look to get it out.
Mark, that one is right. What a save by Mike Smith. That goes in. It's night-night, game over.
Gagne trying to lock it up. Here's a chance for Stone. And now it's turned the other way, and Fleischmann again. Just kind of dropped it to nobody, so the Coyotes will take advantage, and out they come. Hansel over the line. He drops it. Gagne right to the front. Batted away that time by Luongo. Goes in behind that. Yandel way down low. Now Mike Smith to the bench. Pops free in front. Here's McCulloch. Extra attacker out. Oh, and a big rebound, but it's cleared away that time. Coyotes trying to keep it in. A shot rolls right to the crease and covered by Luongo.
What a shift. What a sequence. Couple real good opportunities. Luongo putting up the stone wall. Just get it to the front of the net. Big rebounds. Tepikoski can't find it. Here's the Shane Doan shot that we talked about. That just squeaks through the 5-hole. Luongo thinks he's got it covered. There's an overhead look. Squeaks through. Bukestad clears that puck. the blue paint, and right now Dave Tippett talking to his hockey club. Win the face-off. What's your responsibility? Know your responsibility and win whatever one-on-one battle, whoever you're up against. That's what it comes down to right now.
2-1 Florida, a minute 12 to go. They're going to mark the face-off inside the Panthers zone to the left of Luongo, and an empty Coyotes net down to the left.
Got Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Keith Yandel manning the points, and the two big boys up front, Doan and Hansel.
Doan, Hansel, Vermette, and Bodker.
Everybody's got to get in here on this face-off. Help out. McKenzie's just going to want to eat it.
Antoine Vermette's been so good on road faceoffs this year. And the Coyotes will set it up to the line, but it goes past Ekman-Larsson and all the way back. Kopetsky racing after it against Ekman-Larsson. And they battle for it. Yandel's going to try to pick it off, and he does. Under a minute to go. Chance for Doan. This one goes down the length, and we're going to get an icing call here. So Mike Smith's going to have to go back. And he will re-enter the game.
Yeah, how big is this face-off now in the defensive zone with your goaltender back in net? Florida is going to want to eat precious time if they win this face-off.
McKenzie and Kopetsky out there with Jussi Jokinen. And the Coyotes keep the same group out as Yandel with the face-off gets it back to center for Doan, but it goes over his stick. And
icing.
Yeah, it's just, no, they wave it off. Yandel will try to get it out, taking away Kopetsky. There he is again. Now Kopetsky to the front, just sent wide that time by McKenzie. Doan brings it along. Ekman-Larsson follow-up move, taking away Kulikov. Good job by Bodker to play it into the corner. 22 to go. Coyotes looking for a couple of final chances, and Yandel can't keep the point. 15 to go. Yandel will send one in, steered away by Luongo. Into the corner with 10. Goes in behind the net. Hodgman now out there. Trying to work it to the front. 2 seconds to go. Coyotes are going to run out of time, and that's it. Coyote shots in the third period, 9 for the Florida Panthers. But it was the tally by Scotty Upshall at 10:56. And that turns out to be the game winner tonight, Tyson.
Yeah, the margin for error when you're struggling offensively to score goals is just so small. One turnover, and that's it. And really, a power play that has kept this team afloat and alive this season. Couldn't get it done. They did score one, but they had opportunities to tie it up and couldn't find the back of the net.
Hansel the lone goal tonight, period. Upshaw score for the Florida Panthers. Stick around, more from Sunrise after this.